What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another unplayable video where we are talking about yet more Twilight of the Republic. Spoilers. More. I'm here with David. What's up?
Hey.
We're just gonna talk about cards like we always do.
Keep going.
So let's start off this week with a pretty interesting one. We've got Luminara Unduli. She is a 7-cost blue hero ground unit. And she is a 4/9 Force Jedi Republic with Coordinate. She has Grit. And when played, choose a base, heal 1 damage from it for each unit you control.
Choose a base, Twin Suns. You could really earn some love here.
I'm always down for that part.
All right, I just call this the poor man's Luke Skywalker. You know, if you don't have the funds in the budget, just spring for some Luminara.
It doesn't quite do the same thing that Luke does. Isn't Chewbacca kind of the poor man's Luke?
Okay, true. This is probably poor man's redemption.
If you can't afford redemption, there might be some other issues at play.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, I struggle with this one.
Yeah,
It's like 4/9 is actually a cool stat line because... there's not a lot of cards that can take it out aside from like Rival's Fall or Vanquish. So that part's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you can get Grit online, pretty cool because, 9 health is a lot, but we've seen other sort of, Grit units with big health pools that don't really have a big impact.
Yeah.
The when played is cool. The one place where I feel like, maybe this card is useful is like you're playing a deck that's maybe a bit more mid-range and this is your top end and you for some reason struggle into aggro and you have units on the board because they're not really doing anything to them and you get to heal like 3 or 4 or 5 damage. That seems pretty solid.
Yeah
So
I feel the same as you. I'm not too excited about this. 9 health is good. I was thinking like the young Han, you could cheat this out at 6 as a 4/7 with Grit and potentially some healing. But there's so much competition for that deck.
Yeah, for that. Yeah.
That I just can't imagine that would be.
You're not playing
your
it
best
over Luke,
play.
so you have to play it in addition to Luke.
Yeah, because right now it's like running Luke and Mace Windu at that 7 slot.
Right.
I don't know that Luminar makes a cut.
Yeah.
But maybe in that deck, that's where the budget version comes into play. If you don't have Luke's and because if you can cheat it in with and it does have Coordinate and Grit, then you've got a 6/7 unit that also heals a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Probably we should say probably a draft bomb. Just another
totally
big unit that you're very happy to see in the later stages of a game.
Yeah.
Assuming that this set is slow enough to get to 7 resources.
Yeah. I actually thought, man, if you could give this Sentinel very easily, that would be...
There is that one card that we talked about last time, the Sword and Shield maneuver or whatever. Where you give a Jedi Sentinel for the turn. Yeah.
Is that what that is? Oh yeah, give
your troopers get Grit, your Jedis get Sentinel.
Yeah, sure. Well, okay, but you're are you intentionally ignoring your favorite card from set 1?
Yeah. Well, yes, I am.
Well, that's too bad because it's a 1-cost protector that gives you +1/+1 in Sentinel in double blue. So
maybe. I mean, it does sound really fun to live the dream and just play like a double blue all Jedis. Just to have a bunch of Jedi on the table with, you're giving them Protector, you're giving them lightsabers. That sounds like a very fun deck to play. So,
yeah,
I respect it.
I
will say that this is my least favorite way that they implement Coordinate, which is just Coordinate gain a random, seemingly unrelated ability. It just feels like a gate for no reason, which I sort of mentioned last time. I like Commander Cody and how he's designed because his whole card is about you having a bunch of units. She does have the win play that benefits from you having a bunch of units, but Like, she doesn't really benefit your units while she's on the board. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it could have been a little cleaner there, but she's definitely interesting.
Gets around, take down, fell the dragon.
Yeah.
Chewie.
So, some cool stuff. Cool stuff there.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the next card. We've
Let's
got
do it.
Self-Destruct. This is a 2-cost red villain event, and it says defeat a friendly unit. If you do, deal 4 damage to a unit.
All right. So the first thing we have to compare this to is Force Choke, because it's a 2-cost red villain. Force Choke does 5, but lets your opponent draw a card. It can be just 1 if you have a Force unit. This costs you a unit, but they don't get to draw. It's never cheaper. Deal 4.
Right. Yeah. And then the other card that we have to compare this to is Open Fire, which is just pay 1 more. Don't defeat one of your own units.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
This seems really great in draft.
Yeah.
I think I would be totally fine. Like, yeah, give up a battle droid to do 4 or something.
Also, like, you have to consider like when defeated abilities on your own units, where you might want to defeat your own unit and your opponent doesn't want to defeat your unit for some reason, and like now you have a way to do it. So like late game, you like play Motti and then play this and kill one of their things while readying one of your things. Like, that sounds cool.
You are the Motti guy.
Motti's my favorite card in the entire
Motti
game.
is like my protector. You know, like for
100%.
you know, you just need a Motti T-shirt.
Every single card that we talk about is through the lens of can I abuse Motti with this card? If the answer is yes, I like the card.
Yeah.
So,
no, that makes sense. That's a pretty easy 2-card combo to do some weird stuff. So
it's interesting. Like, I feel like you probably play this alongside Force Choke, and I don't know if like you play this instead of Force Choke, because giving your opponent a card, like, it can feel bad, but you're like, that 1 extra damage that you get is pretty meaningful a lot of the time. So hard to give up the extra point of damage. From Force Choke. But all right, let's talk about the next card. We've got Wolfpack Escort. So this is a 1-cost yellow hero space unit. It's a 2/1 Republic vehicle fighter with, when played, you may return a friendly non-leader non-vehicle unit to its owner's hand.
Friendly non-leader non-vehicle.
Yeah. So it's like a self-bounce, but you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have
choice.
to. It's a 1/2/1.
Yeah.
So this is like kind of like TIE Fighter for yellow hero, you know, just a cheap little something to do. You could, I'm trying to think of like,
you can play like the Han, like just all 1 costs all the time, like set 1 Han, and just like, you know, turn 1 play 3 1-drops, turn 2 play 4 1-drops, like do something dumb like that.
Yeah, and then grenade strike.
Yeah,
you and
and then you're sad, but until then you're having fun.
Yeah, I mean, this could fit in with like Rey. You could drop this as a and turn it into a 3/2, turn 1.
That's less exciting to me because you're still sinking 3 resources into it. Well, but I guess it isn't.
That's not 3 resources. That's 2.
Sorry, 2 resources.
Yeah,
like that, you already have like 2-cost 3/2s that you could play.
Yep.
But I guess there's only 1. So if you want another one, you got this.
Right. This gives you what are like in yellow hero? What are the things that you'd want to bounce? You think like is in the yellow double yellow? You want to get Bodhi back?
That's a good question.
Double Bodhi.
Maybe.
Cantina bouncer late.
Maybe.
I'm sure there's some ambush stuff too that you could you could do. I mean, even like Enfys Nest and stuff like that. Weird ambushy yellow hero stuff.
Yeah. You get this out after you've cheated in your wedge with that 1 card, and then you can, I don't know, keep bouncing vehicles and ambushing.
Yeah, and this is also a 3/2 with wedge.
Yeah.
That green yellow wedge deck is coming together.
It is coming together.
We need to get some games going. Let's get some proxy games.
We definitely gotta make that happen. Cool. All right. Well, let's talk about a leader. Let's talk about Quinn Voss. Woo. And then I can talk about how much FFG trolled me when we get to the other leader that was well this week. So we've got Quinn Voss. He is a yellow hero leader. He has the ability, when you play a unit, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, deal 1 damage to an enemy unit that costs the same as the played unit. And then you flip him on 5 as a 3/7. And on his unit side, he has the Force, Jedi, Republic traits. And when you play a unit, you may deal 1 damage to an enemy unit that costs the same as or less than the played unit. So on his leader side, has to cost exactly the same. On his unit side, there's a little bit more flexibility. And it's not restricted, I don't think. So on his, when you flip him, you can just like, I don't know, machine gun out a bunch of units and then deal a bunch of damage.
Yeah. I mean, those stats are solid. 3/7 at 5. He's
not
1
bad.
power off from Boba levels there.
I like how we like are excited that like a leader's almost as good as Boba.
Yeah. On just the stats alone.
Yeah.
My actual first thought with this was a Quinn Voss Mace Windu Twin Suns deck, because Mace wants to hit the damaged units.
Yeah.
So you just like
that's fun.
So this guy hits and then Mace hits and you just.
I like it.
This seems fun. And Quinlan and Mace have a complicated history.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I don't know. I think it's fine. I think in draft it'll be a pretty solid choice. I think because a lot of times you're just
he is a common.
Yeah, you're gonna see this guy a lot. You're gonna be able to like match the values pretty regularly when you're playing. You kind of, it's one of those weird things where you're like, I really want to go second. So
It feels like another leader that like pairs really well with Tarkin Town. That like you know, you can kill whatever they played turn 1 because they played a 2 cost. You're playing a 2 cost. You deal 1 to theirs, and then Tarkin Town it.
Yeah,
all that
and you're just
fun
ahead.
stuff. So
yeah.
It seems like a cool like probably tempo leader is what it feels like, but
it's gonna be terrible against control. But
some cool stuff that you can do on the unit side where he doesn't have to exhaust is like U-wing reinforcement. You can bring in 3 units and deal 3 damage. So cards that let you play multiple units within the same card can let you deal more damage. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know if there's too much else to say about this guy.
Oh, he's okay. Nothing crazy.
He's not super exciting to me, but he is kind of cool. Now this card is wild. This is Chancellor Palpatine. He is a legendary, and he is a 4-cost double yellow ground unit. He's a 2/6 Republic official. With each token unit you create enters play ready. And on attack, if a unit left played this phase, create a clone trooper token. Super interesting.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Love that he creates clones, not battle droids.
Yeah.
That feels
super thematic.
Yeah, and the fact that it just comes in ready like that. It's like, how can you abuse Motti with this? Can you just like...
I'm sure you can. Well, no, I guess... Because Motti only readies villains, so you can't ready this guy with it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But that would be cool.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, I think that this is like a really sick Twin Suns card. Like, this to me feels like a Twin Suns like build around like leader, because you can play more colors. Like, it feels very weird that you can only play that. You know, you have to be double yellow to play this, because most of the token generation that we've seen is in like green. There's some in yellow, but a lot of it's in green. And being able to like pair this with green in Twin Suns is pretty interesting. Being able to actually play like Royal
hard to build a deck around one card in Twin Suns though.
Well, I know, yeah, obviously, but like we can get to the point in Twin Suns where that's more, maybe not build around one specific card, but build around a strategy.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is pretty cool.
I do like stuff like Search Your Feelings, where you actually can pay 4 to search your deck for any card that you want to build around in Twin Suns. That card is actually like okay, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I was thinking about this with if you did go the Twin Suns and you played, is it just called Clone Wars? Is it just the green?
I think so. The one where you make a bunch of
you pay 2 and then
you make clones and you make battle choice for your opponent. I think.
Yep. Yeah. So you could follow up on the next turn. You could get 3 clones out with that, because you could pay 5 total, I think. And then they all come in ready.
Yep.
But you're right. It is like the fact that this is double yellow limits its effectiveness for sure.
Okay. Is there some OTK that you can do with this in Endless Legion? Like, you have this in your resources. You like in your resource row, it's just Palpatine, and then like every other unit that you're bringing in also brings in some tokens, and they all come in ready, and then you get to attack with all of them.
Yeah, that's wild.
Could be fun.
Yeah. Oh gosh, we're creating double yellow, double green decks now.
Well, no, this is a blank card until you play it with Endless Legion. So
there you go. Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, it's a really cool card, but I don't know. Somebody smarter than me will figure out how to make this into a legit premier deck.
Yeah, I think the issue is going to be, can yellow, specifically yellow hero, create enough clones? Because I think if you're getting clones
better
out ready at multiple, then that feels a lot stronger than just a bunch of battle droids.
I don't know if I agree with that, because I think that the battle droids are like costed more aggressively than the clones, and so like you're probably spending the same number of resources, and like you're still getting stats on the board, and maybe it's a little slower, but you pay 3 resources essentially and get like 3 battle droids, and you pay 3 resources and get like 1 clone. At least that's what it feels like, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well,
maybe
we'll know more when the whole set's revealed for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're also limited really to just yellow cards and like the fully neutral like hero or villain cards. So
yeah,
there's not a lot to pull from. All right, let's move on to the next card. We've got Soldier of the 501st. This is a 1-cost red hero ground unit, and it's a 1/3 Republic clone trooper with raid 1. Super simple. Kind of cool to get another cheap, I don't know, like semi-aggressive-ish, like a 1-cost 2/3 seems pretty decent.
Yeah,
so,
I think it's fine.
I don't know. 2 of these on turn 1 could be pretty sweet.
You could, again, going with the Ray theme, put this as a.
Yeah, you make it big.
So then you got a
2/4.
a blue red.
Actually, this is really good with Ray, huh?
Yeah, because then it's a Battlefield Marine on attack.
Yeah, and then you can buff this twice. Eventually get to 4 attack. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay.
And clone stuff. We could get some Omega meta coming.
Yeah. And the Republic synergy that may or may not exist.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next up we've got Anakin's Interceptor. It's a 2-cost red hero space unit. It's a 2/3 with the Jedi Republic vehicle and fighter traits. And while your base has 15 or more damage on it, this unit gets +2/+0. So late game, it's a 2-cost 4/3, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, another Jedi ship. I think because we saw it with Obi-Wan's thing too. Yep. So I'm curious what that's gonna, like how that's gonna play out. 15 or more, 2-cost 2/3. Man, I don't know. I obviously has a little higher ceiling than A-Wing, but A-Wing is just way more consistent to start.
Yeah.
Although it does hit for 2.
I gotta check something real quick, because we've seen Anakin's card, right? Anakin's a 5-cost 6/6 with the Force and the Jedi trait and the Republic trait. So this is a card that you can use as your target for. Now there are 2 of them. And you can play Anakin's Interceptor on turn 1 and Anakin Skywalker on turn 2.
There it is.
So that sounds sweet.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, the Jedi. That's a good point, because we were looking for, like, last week we were looking for Force units like Grogu that you could.
Now you don't need a Force unit. You got a Jedi.
Yeah, you got Jedi. Okay.
And
all right.
Republic. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it's an enabler for that card, gosh, yeah, let's go.
So
let's do it. And it does feel like you feel like it's kind of like the Shore Trooper from set 1.
Yeah,
where
very similar.
You're like, okay, I don't really feel like I need to get rid of this right now, but I better get rid of it before they're at 6 resources.
Yeah.
So it has that same kind of vibe.
Do we have ways to deal damage to your own base for a benefit?
I'm sure we do. I mean, Sabine does it.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I mean, like, this could be good in Sabine if you're just like pinging your own base a bunch while they're attacking you. Like, you could get to 15 damage on your base pretty fast. The other interesting note is that this is like your base has 15 or more damage on it rather than like 15 health left, which is a big difference when you're dealing with non-30 health bases. Mm-hmm. But yeah, very cool. Like I seeing this, I would love a card that was like, deal up to 5 damage to your base and like deal that much damage to your opponent's base or something like that, or an opponent's unit.
You've got some bounty units
play style
in set 2 that do that. There's that is the unlicensed headhunter that's like the 2 cost 3/2, or is it heal 5? I always confuse if it's the bounty is deal 5 or
I think it's
5.
heal. I think it's heal.
Okay, but there's one that is deal damage
to your own base. That'd be cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I like this card. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on and talk about Bold Resistance, another red hero card. This is a 3-cost event, and it says choose up to 3 units, share the same trait. Each of those units gets +2/+0 for this phase. So you're paying 3 for basically +6 attack for a turn, which is kind of a lot.
It is a lot. I like that it's like just a static +2 instead of that rallying cry that gives raid 2.
Sure.
Because then it's like...
Is rallying cry basically the same card?
Rallying cry?
It 3 units? Yeah.
No, rallying cry is
is it all your units?
It's all your units.
Okay. Oh, but it's double red.
Double red.
This is a lot easier to play.
And again, raid 2. So this is you could match up traits and again, just I just because the way around rallying cry is like, okay, I'll just kill that with an attack and you don't get any benefit. Whereas this is like, oh well, those clones are now hit for 4 instead of 2, so you might have to trade instead of just get value there. So this feels a little better than that. Definitely feels very aggressive. How many times are you going to have 3 units on the board that share the same trait? I mean, you could build your deck around it, but having 3 units on the board, that's our issue with coordinate in general. It's like, oh gosh, that's...
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does like push that strategy a little more and like makes you want to build in that direction, which I think is pretty cool. I think the payoff is good. Like if you can pull it off and actually deal 6 damage with this, like that's significant. It is slow, so that's a thing, but it's a cool card.
I was thinking about it like having a deck that is so very much space focused. Like you just like a ton of vehicles where you can kind of build a bigger presence easier than on the ground just because like leaders don't go there. So if you can get some of those little vehicles out, and then all of a sudden you're hitting for 6 extra on the space side, unless they get out like a Conquered Dawn.
Yeah.
You could go pretty fast there. So
yeah. There's gonna be spots where this card feels really good, and then spots where it feels useless. So one of those kinds of cards. All right, next one we've got is Sand Hill. This is a 6-cost yellow villain ground unit. He's a 3/7 Separatist official, and he has exploit 3. So you can naturally play him for free if you exploit 3, up to 3 units. And then on attack for each friendly unit that was defeated this phase, ready a friendly resource. So this is pretty interesting.
So you ECL this in. you kill 3 battle droids. You
ready 3 resources.
Then you paid it for free, so then you get 3 extra from something you already played.
Right. This card breaks my brain a little bit in terms of
me too. Yeah,
what you can do with it and the order and stuff. It's like in Boba, like Boba Green, like you're already readying resources with Boba. So it's like imagine you're on 6 resources and you ECL this. Well, you don't even need to be on 6 resources. Like you're on the Boba flip turn. You like play a card that costs 5. You already had 3 battle droids on the board or whatever. You exploit all of them to play this, ready 3 of your resources, kill something with it, ready another one with Boba, and then play another card, and then flip Boba and attack, and then ready 2 more. It's like you're potentially gaining an extra 3 resources on that Boba flip turn. So you could have like up to 11 resources that turn, basically. That seems kind of nuts.
Yeah, you're going to run out of cards before you can use all that.
Probably.
But sometimes like double yellow Boba is just like all gas, no brakes. Like that's okay. Well, there's part of me that wishes this wasn't in yellow, so that other colors could get access to like a Boba-esque ability.
Sure.
But I do wonder if this guy could open up some territory for other yellow villain leaders to like we talked about Django. We've talked about other things where, well, maybe this guy can fit somewhere that other decks couldn't go because it can ready resources. I think anytime we see readying resources we know that's good.
You gotta look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the 4-cost card that creates 3 battle droids, and they come in ready. So you could like play that, attack with all 3 of them, deal 3 damage to your opponent's base or something like that, and exploit all 3 of them, and basically play this and then ready a resource back. So you're playing that previous card for free. You're playing this card for 0. You're basically getting like 10 resources worth of value for 3, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know, in a weird roundabout way. Yeah. I feel like this card's broken, but I don't know exactly how yet.
Yeah.
It's a very cool card.
I mean, the fact that you can play it for free in the right situation because of Exploit 3.
This is a big brain card for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I think is, or I guess one thing that would be very cool with Exploit is like more cards that let you temporarily steal your opponent's units. So you like steal their thing for a turn and then you exploit it.
Yeah.
They die. So
Oh yeah.
stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
This card's sick.
I mean, Change of Heart is in that same color, so
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Next up, we got Tri-Droid Suppressor. It's a 7-cost yellow ground unit. It's a 4/7 Separatist droid vehicle walker. Has exploit 2, and when played, exhaust an enemy ground unit. Pretty vanilla.
Yep. Not villain, not hero.
Yeah. You can play it for 3. That's pretty good.
You could play it for 3. So on the 3 cost, you give up a couple guys for a 4/7 and exhausting an enemy ground unit. Seems fine. I mean, I think this is another great one in draft. I don't think I'd like. Well, okay, playing it on 5 as a 4/7 and an exhaust still feels a little underwhelming. But
How does now there are 2 of them interact with exploit? If you have a single Separatist unit,
yeah,
can you play now there are 2 of them and simultaneously exploit that unit to play this for 5?
I think so, because it just says, because now there are 2 of them, just says it costs 5 less. So,
right. But it says you have to have a single unit in play that shares a type with it.
Got it.
When does it like happen? When does it look at that? Somebody in the comments tell me.
I'm sure.
We're not going to know the answer to this question.
Yeah, it seems like less broken than you think. Like you'd have to have one.
Like would that unit have to remain on the board while you're playing the card, or could you exploit that card? What if that card creates a unit? What if you have the 1/3 like blue unit that makes a droid when it dies? Like they're both Separatist.
Yeah.
Like how does that actually function? Yeah,
that's a good question.
I don't know. Let us know.
Yep.
Next up, we'll talk about Political Pressure. It's a 1-cost yellow event. Choose an opponent. They may discard a random card from their hand. If they don't, create 2 battle droid tokens. This goes pretty well with that Palpatine card.
Yeah. Man, the fact that it's random is pretty awesome. At first, I was like, "Oh, that doesn't."
Yeah.
You're just trading a card and you're paying a resource, but like the fact that it's random. I mean, people really shape their hands to build on curve, and so you could.
Yeah, you could ruin their day.
You could ruin a lot of their plans. So, I love a good discard card. I'm not a mill player like you.
Yeah, you're worse. You're a discard player.
But man, if I could do some force throw, pillage, political pressure,
that sounds so fun to play against. I can't wait.
All right. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think cards that give your opponent an option inherently usually get played less.
Sure.
Because you can't control what they're doing.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
but this is one of those.
Late game, this card is trash.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I have much to say more about that card. Let's see some plan synergy is all I gotta say.
There it is. Yeah.
All right. Well, next up we've got Private Manufacturing. It's a 2-cost event. It's just neutral, and it says draw 2 cards. If you control no token units, you put 2 cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order. So at the worst, it's cycling 2 cards. At best, you're just drawing 2 cards for 2, which seems pretty good.
Well, 2, but you're giving up a card to do it, so you're only gaining that 1.
Sure.
But you're definitely digging.
You're digging through your deck. I mean, compare this to Mission Briefing, which is just pay 3, draw 2.
Yeah.
Paying a third less is pretty substantial. I mean, nobody plays Mission Briefing, so that's the caveat there. But
yeah.
It's an interesting card.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm sure someone will play it, but
yeah, the fact that it's neutral, I think, is like pretty neat because you could see it in a bunch of different types of decks.
And again, when you're talking about draft too, I mean, this might be fine. Although it is easy to get decked out in draft, so
that's true.
You got to be careful of that too.
Yeah. Next up, we've got the second leader of the week, which I and many other people, at least in our Discord, assumed would be Asajj Ventress because of the Dark Disciple novel, which if you've not read it, you should read it. It's great. But instead, we got Wat freaking Tambour, the Techno Union foreman. So cool. He is a green villain leader. He's a separatist and an official. And he has the action Exhaust. If a friendly unit was defeated this phase, give a unit +2/+2 for this phase. And he flips on 5 as a 3/6. And on attack, if a friendly unit was defeated this phase, you may give another unit +2/+2 for this phase. What do you think? I'm so bored by this card.
This is the card equivalent of that emoji in your phone that goes.
I'm kind of like baffled that this is a rare. Like the rare units, I feel like are usually more complex and like a little bit more niche. But this, feels pretty generic.
But think if you drafted a deck that had no exploit somehow, which I don't know how possible it is
through combat.
Yeah, but it would be so hard to build to like.
I don't think you even need to
do that.
Like you just trade with an opponent's unit and you give your other unit +2/+2, right? Like that happens.
Sure. I mean, it is a free action. I mean, like free actions aren't nothing. I mean, even Chirrut's little temporary.
Like I don't think he's bad.
Buff.
Like I think he's totally fine. Like totally reasonable. I just think he's boring.
Yeah, that's
like
that's fair.
The coolest thing that you can do with him, I think, is like on the flip turn, you can. One of your units gets defeated. You can give something +2/+2 on this side. Then you flip and attack and give another thing +2/+2 on that side. Like, so you can gain +4/+4 basically on the flip turn, which is a lot. That's significant.
There you go.
It's slow, and requires the unit that you're giving the buffs to stay alive until after Wat attacks. But
yeah,
I don't know. That's like the most interesting thing I've thought that you could do with him.
Yeah, it's. I'm trying to remember all the separatist leaders. Obviously, we got Dooku at 7, Nute Gunray at 6, Grievous at 6. Okay, so far this is the cheapest separatist leader to get out. So if there is some separatist synergy, maybe there's something that you can pursue.
Okay, cool line that I just thought of potentially is like turn 2, you play Super Laser Tech, and you have a unit left over from your first turn, and then the next turn that Super Laser Tech dies, you give the buff. You get to flip this a turn early, give the other buff when he attacks, and then that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
but
there you go, solved.
Okay, hang on. The first card, the card that you played turn 1 was Motti.
Of course it's Motti.
So you played Motti turn 1. You play Super Laser Tech turn 2. Turn 3, you play a card that costs 6 but has exploit. Wait, you play a card that costs 8 but has exploit 2.
There it is.
You bring that in. You defeat both the other ones. It comes in ready because of Motti.
Yep.
You give it +2/+2 with Wat. You flip Wat. You attack with Wat. You give it another +2/+2. And your 8-cost gigantic unit is in play, ready to attack for like 10. Now, does that exist as a card?
I mean,
hang on.
The Separatist Super Tank is 9 cost, 8/8, exploit 3. That'd be too expensive, right?
Wait,
it'd have to be 8. It costs Separatist Super Tank.
It'd be the Hailfire Tank.
Hailfire Tank.
Hailfire Tank costs 8 and has exploit 2, and it's a 7/6. So you could attack your opponent for 11 with this. Plus, if you attack their base with Wat, it's another 3.
If Motti is exploited, does he trigger the
thing that you're playing can come in ready?
It can come in? You're sure about that?
No, but I think so. I think that the when defeated happens like after the unit is played. But again, I'm bad with rules. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. Yeah. I'm 50% sure that's how it works.
All right.
So if that's how it works, that sounds cool. I mean, it's never gonna you're never gonna pull it off, but it sounds like a cool pipe dream.
You could also, even your girl Asajj Ventress, come in exploit
you
2.
got 4 resources left over. What are you gonna do with those 4 resources?
Because Watt can give
you could do
Asajj. Watt can attack and give her
as a
+2,
Separatist.
+2. So she could swing for 9.
Yeah. Even better is you have another Motti that somehow dies. Okay, here it is. All right. We're spending way too long on this card, but I'm going deep. Turn 1, you play Motti. Turn 2, you play Super Laser Tech. Turn 3, you exploit both for a ready Ventress. You've not spent any resources. You're at 5 resources. You give her +2/+2. You attack with Watt. You give her another +2/+2. She's now attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I believe, right? Because
she gets +3 if a Separatist attacked.
+3. Okay, so that's 9.
Yeah.
And then you play another Motti, and you self-destruct that Motti because you have the resources available. And then she's ready again, and then you attack again, but now you're attacking for 12 with her, or 13. 12. Yeah, 12, because she gets the +3 every time she attacks, and she keeps the +3.
You're right. Oh my gosh! Wait, so that's 21 damage.
Nailed it.
On the 5, the Watt Tambour is broken, guys. Oh my gosh, we just broke smooth. That's 21 damage on turn 3,
and it only requires like 6-card combo.
Yeah. I mean, come on. It's just 2 Motti, 1 Super Laser Tech, a Ventress, and
it's
self-destruct.
Yeah, it's completely foolproof.
All right. Yeah, we're building this, Mike. This is going to be our next video.
100%.
21 damage.
We just nailed it. And we found a way to make Watt Tambour interesting. So
there it is.
I'll call this a win.
This is why we make content right here.
That's
for
right.
These moments.
Exactly. All right. Well, next up, we've got Admiral Trench. He is a green villain unit. He's a ground unit. He costs 7. And he's a 5/5 Separatist official with exploit 1. When played, return up to 3 units that were defeated this phase from your discard pile to your hand. So that's neat.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Yeah. It is nice that you can just get back the thing that you just killed. So you can just bring your little Salacious Crumb back and...
That's true. I feel like most of the time, when people think of exploit, they want to exploit battle droids, but this specifically doesn't want you to do that because you don't get those back to your hand.
Yeah.
But you also can just return units that you had die that turn. Like your opponent plays Super Laser Blast, you play this and get all 3 of your units back in your hand. Like that's pretty sweet.
Yep. You could like Bazine stuff. Like you could do some hand annoying little.
Is this potentially like the best answer to Super Laser Blast in this color now? Because like people were playing
Emperor's Legion,
which like you return.
I haven't really seen that in set 2, but set 1 they were definitely running it.
Yeah, but this seems just better than that because you also get a 5/5 out of the deal.
Totally. Yeah. This could be a great answer, honestly. Because a lot of people, I mean, at 7 costs, you're thinking this is Vader territory. So
sure,
but you could play this for 5, obviously.
For 5, yeah.
And so there's a little bit more flexibility, but I mean, Vader comes in and adds, now it's like, oh, I've got 2 units, now you Super Laser Blast, but I got 2.
If you're playing this in Dooku, you can play him with exploit 2 and play him for 3 resources. So that's pretty cool
good.
too.
Yeah, I always forget about. Yeah, that seems even better.
Pretty solid there.
Play that at 3. That's very good.
And that's Admiral Trench. Next up,
and
we've got
cool character. I'm glad they brought him in.
Yeah, Admiral Trench is sweet. Like, what an awesome arc in the Clone Wars that was.
Yeah, and one of the few non-humans in the Empire because they didn't like non-humans.
Oh, true. Well, he was in the Republic, right? Oh no, sorry, he was in the Separatist Alliance.
Oh, you're right.
Aliens.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking of someone else.
Did he die in Clone Wars? I can't remember.
He's
also like,
yes.
He's not all like mechanical. So this art, I think, is from before something happens. I think I remember hearing that in like the art stream where like this is before some battle he had with Anakin or something like that, and so he's got all of his parts.
This says, as Anakin related to Windu, Trench attempted to electrocute him with a staff, but Skywalker resisted, ran the hearts through the chest with his lightsaber, fatally wounding him. But he said that to He said that to Mace? That's weird. That wording is strange.
Weird. So he's maybe dead. But he's probably dead.
Maybe dead, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like he's dead.
All right. We'll go with he's dead.
Too good kill him.
But
oh no, he literally did. No, Anakin sliced up his arms, man. He went nutso.
Yeah.
So
but then he comes back with like mechanical parts, I thought. Okay. Next up, we've got
You can blame Wikipedia for that.
Ahsoka Tano is a legendary card. She's a 3-cost yellow hero unit. She's a 3/4. She's a ground unit, obviously. Force, Jedi, Republic, and while you control fewer units than an opponent, including this one, this unit gets ambush. And she has the action, pay 2 resources, return this unit, and each upgrade on her to their owner's hand. It's a weird one to me.
Yeah, pretty sweet to see Ahsoka unit at a low cost. That's some pretty sweet art.
Yeah.
Force, Jedi, Republic. This is another one of those, like, what can you cheat out with now there are 2 of them if she's out there? Because if she's, if you're going for fewer units, right? Like, you could, like, they play Sabine, you just take initiative.
Yeah. What are the good 6 costs, like Force, Jedi, Republic cards you could play on the following turn? I guess 7 costs, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I sort of wonder if this would open the window to play, to shoot for, like, a first turn play that was an event that could, this is the way, like,
or like Spark a Rebellion or something like that, turn 1, like something like that.
That's it right there, because you just do the thing, and then you immediately play for this, kill their, assuming they don't go space.
Yeah. They just, like, you only get to ambush if they have 2 units on, like, their turn 2 before you have 1, because she counts herself.
Okay, so. Yeah, I know that's, yeah.
This is a weird legendary to me. Like,
yep.
She doesn't seem that much more powerful than, like, Ezra, if at all. And Ezra's a 3-cost 3/4. That's like a Force unit also. The action to pay 2 to bounce her is kind of neat, but also seems like you're not going to really use it. I wish she was either a 4. I wish she was like a 3/5. I think if she was a 4/4, that'd be nuts, because ambushing for 4 and surviving most of the time, like, would be kind of nuts. But maybe it should have been, because she's legendary. I don't know. This one's weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with this either. It might just be like, oh, you just want more Force units. It's like, oops, all Force, all Jedi.
Yeah. But then it's like, you're not really using her for her ability that much. Like, and it's also like you're playing Republic stuff, which all of the other stuff wants you to have a bunch of units, and this wants you to have fewer units. So it's like at odds with what the rest of the set wants to do.
Are there upgrades that have 1 plate abilities that would be... The only ones I can think of are, like, Luke and Vader's lightsabers, and I'm like, I don't...
Yeah.
That doesn't synergize at all.
There's, like, the blaster, Han's blaster, but it just, like, lets you attack, and, like, snapshot, like, lets you attack.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I'm underwhelmed by this card, but I hope that somebody finds a good use for it, because as one of the most iconic characters in Star Wars and a legendary, I want her to be good. So
Yeah.
All right, next up, we've got Jar Jar Binks. We've got
the Sith Lord
himself, exactly.
If you've seen Rebuilding the Galaxy.
I haven't watched it yet, but
Mike, it's so
I know,
good.
I need to. He's a 2-cost double yellow ground unit, and he's a 2/3 Gungan with on attack, deal 2 damage to a random unit or base. He's super
great.
Jar Jar.
Yeah,
my favorite part about this card is that Chancellor Palpatine is also a double yellow unit in this set.
That's true.
And it just makes me laugh. This art is so Jar Jar. I love it. This is great.
I cannot wait to play this in Twin Suns.
Yes.
Because it's like...
You're going to have to roll like a 20-sided die.
Yeah, it's like you're going to do like one, you're just like, all right, where's Jar Jar? We should play a Twin Suns game where like everyone is required to play Jar Jar. Or you start with everybody starts with Jar Jar Binks on the ground arena.
Oh, that's such a good variant. Yes. As for like his impact on the game, like, I don't know, he seems whatever. Like, I wish he was like a 3/3 or something. or I wish he dealt more damage to a base.
No. You don't actually want Jar Jar Binks to like dominate competitive level
events. Yes, I do.
You did play Jar Jar competitively in Destiny, didn't you?
I sure did.
You did.
And I would do it again if I could.
Oh gosh.
So, we'll see if I can or not.
All right, we're making that Twin Sons video at some point.
Yeah, I'm down. All right, we got 2 cards left. We've got Morgan Elspeth. She's a 4-cost blue villain ground unit. She's a 3/6 Force Imperial official with Restore 1. And on attack, you may defeat another friendly unit if you do draw a card.
Wow.
Interesting.
I think this is fantastic.
Yeah.
3/6 is a great stat line for 4.
Yep. With Restore 1.
With
also
Restore
good.
1. With a relevant ability of potentially drawing a card, a little Palpatine-esque, and those tags,
traits.
Forced
All the
Imperial
traits are
Official.
good. Yeah.
I mean,
she's sweet.
I think her biggest issue is that Lon Pike loves to be the 4-cost, blue villain. So
but maybe you're not playing blue-green, you're playing blue-red, and you get to force throw with her on the board.
I do love a good force throw.
So maybe blue-red control makes a comeback, and you get to actually play force throw in that deck because you got a sticky force unit now.
Seems pretty fun to me.
So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'd like
she
to
good.
see it. Yeah, she's a sweet card. All right, last card we've got is a banger. This is Poggle the Lesser. He's a 2-cost green villain ground unit. He's a 1/4 Separatist official, and when you play another unit, you may exhaust this unit. If you do, create a battle droid token.
Wow. What a first turn play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine a more stressful scenario of like they drop Poggle and you're looking across the board like a Palpatine deck or something.
Yeah.
And
because you know they're going to play Royal Guard the following turn.
Yep, and that produces a battle droid. So now turn 2, they've got Poggle, Emperor Royal Guard, and a battle droid to be exploited.
Yes.
Or just killed by Palpatine.
And you can't get through to Poggle because they've got he's an official, so the Royal Guard gets Sentinel, which I've now learned. And so,
it only took 3 sets, but Mike has learned. It only took
3 sets, yeah, I finally got it. This just seems like an absolute staple in green villain. Like,
yep.
You already sometimes play like the 2-cost 1/4 officials in, especially Palpatine. And this one makes more units. Like, yeah, you have to exhaust him to do it, but like, who cares? He's a 1/4. What else are you doing with him?
Yeah.
So, I'm a massive fan of this card.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those pricey rares in this set. I feel like because every set has that like rare, like Red 3 Wrecker, so that some of the stuff. I feel like this is going to be up there. Yeah,
this card's super good.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, we did it. We actually ended on an exciting, good card.
Hey!
So, we did it right this time. So,
way to go, team.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all we got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and we'll catch you.
Get ready for the OTK deck tech.
Yeah, that's right. Coming soon. Except not in the next 2 weeks because I'm going to Europe. So
yeah,
we'll see how many videos get posted.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.